So good morning, everyone. So in our last class, we studied the relational algebraic operations and examples. So and we also studied the various set operations we can perform in relational algebra, which includes union, intersection, and set difference. So today we shall see another very important operation, that is the join operation. So this is the most predominantly used operation in almost all the queries. So unless they are very pretty basics, which doesn't need more than one table. So if more than one table is involved in a query, then the join operation is a must. So in join operation, uh, it is a Cartesian product that is followed by the select operations. So Cartesian product is nothing but the joining of each row in one table with each row in the another table. So we shall see that with an example. So join operation combines the particular sequence, that is the Cartesian product, then followed by a single select operation. So this is operation is very important for any relational database with which is having more than one table, because it allows us to combine the related tuples from various tables. So the general form of a join operation for two relations R and S will be like this. So R of A1, A2 till AN and S of B1, B2 till BM, which means R is having n number of attributes and S is having m number of attributes. Then the join operation is indicated by this particular symbol R, followed by this is the symbol for join operation. Then the join condition we will write over here. So this condition is similar to the conditions which we write in the where clause of a SQL query. So consider this particular example. So here we are having two tables. So table 1, which is having two rows and three attributes. So having the attributes ID, name and age. Whereas the second table, so attribute 1, attribute 2, having three rows. Now, when we perform the Cartesian product of these two tables, then so the Cartesian product is represented like this. For example, let us call this particular table as R and this particular table as S. Then the Cartesian product is represented by R cross S. So Cartesian product means combining each row of one table with each row of another table, which means in our result, so it will be like this. So result will be having 5 attributes. So 3 attributes from R and 2 attributes from S. So the entries will be like this. So the first, second, so 1, here ABC, XYZ. So age 20, 30. So this become the first row of R and second row of R. So now this will be combined with first row of the second table, that is yes. So attribute 1, it is having 50. Second one will also now be combined with the first row only, right? So first row of R, first row of yes, second row of R with first row of yes. Now Again, what happens? So this gets repeated. 1 ABC 20. Now this time it combines with the second row of the second table. Yes. So 2 followed by 60. Now second row XYZ 30. Again it combines with second row. So next 1 ABC 20. It combines with the third row now. So second XYZ 33 followed by 70. Now if you observe here, each row of R is combined with this. So first row, second row, and here it is third row. So the number of rows in R is 2 and the number of rows in the second table is 3. So totally there will be 6 possible combinations of these two tables. So all those will be present in this particular Cartesian product. So in Cartesian product, each row of one table will be combined with each row of the other table. So here, so when we get a result like this, so sometimes many of the combinations will be meaningless. So 1 with 1 you can understand, but 2 with 1 may be meaningless. So that condition to eliminate the meaningless joins, so we go for the another operation. So that in relational algebra or SQL we call it as join operation. So in join operation, so first we will do the Cartesian product, then what happens, we will write some conditions to join, then together the Cartesian product and this join condition becomes the join operation. So here some of the valid combination includes, so suppose, so these ID are same, so 1 with 1 is valid. So similarly 2 with 2 is valid. So all other things, they in all other things, so this will be invalid combinations. Suppose if this idea happens to be a USN, so combining a USN, particular USN with the attributes of other USN will be meaningless. So here what we can do is, our join condition may be like this, that is S of ATT1 is equal to R of ID. So like this. So S of ATT1 is equal to R of ID. So this condition in a Cartesian product will now become the join operation, and this is indicated like this. R, the symbol for join operation will be like this, and the condition we need to mention. So the attribute on the R side is ID. ID is equal to ATT1. On the other side, the relation name is yes. So R followed by this particular join operation, and on the other side, the table name is yes. So this is the join operation where we combine the rows of two tables. And the difference between the Cartesian product and the join operation, so you must understand it. So let us consider the example in our company database. So we want to combine or retrieve the names of managers of each department. So to get a manager's a name, First, we need to combine the department tuple and a employee tuple based on the SSN value. In department, there will be an attribute called as manager SSN, and in employee tuple, we will have a attribute SSN. So we can do this by the join operation. So we can specify our condition like this. Department on one side, its MGR SSN should be equal to SSN of employee. So the attribute which we write in the left side should belong to the left table, and the attribute which we mention on the right side should belong to the table that is present on the right side. So here MGR SSN is equal to SSN is the join condition which we mentioned. So this combines each department record with the employee who manages the department. So the join condition can also be specified as department.mgrssn is equal to employee.ssn. So this is how we specify in a SQL query. So this is the result of that particular join operation. So all these queries and examples, you need to refer to the company schema as well as the data, so which I had given very earlier. So you have to check that. Based on that only, you have to write the queries and observe the results. So some properties of join operation. So let us consider two relations R and S. So R is having n number of attributes and S is having m number of attributes. So the result relation, so let us call it as a Q. So if Q is the result of this particular join operation, the number of attributes or degree of Q will be equal to, it will be having n plus m number of attributes. So which means it will have n attributes from R and m attributes from S. So a relation Q would look like this. Q of A1, A2 till AN and B1, B2 till PM. So the order will be preserved over here. The resulting relation state has one tuple for each combination of tuples. So small r is a tuple from R, then small s is a tuple from S. If they satisfy the join condition on some attributes. So I from R and J from B. So if we are joining on some attribute and there is a match, then there will be at least one tuple. Hence, if R has nr number of tuples and S has ns number of tuples, then the join result generally will have less than nr into ns number of tuples. So nr into ns is the number of tuples that are possible in Cartesian product. So join will normally have less than that many number of tuples. So another property of this join operation is only related tuples will appear in the result. So here, when we apply this particular join operation for our example, so let us call this particular relation as R and this particular relation as S. Then if we specify the join condition like this, so that is a Q is equal to R followed by ID is equal to ATT1 of S. So this is the relational algebra. In relational algebra, so we will specify it as like this. So single arrow mark like this. Q is our join condition. So Q is equal to R followed by ID is equal to ATT1 of S. So this is the relational algebra. In relational algebra, so we will specify it as like this. So single arrow mark like this. So Q is our join condition. So the result. So this is our Q. So now what happens? Only equality will be followed. So now ID and ATTR1 will be verified. ID number 1, this particular row should be matched with this particular row. So now we will have 1 ABC, then 20, here 1 and 50. So this is match is over. So now no other row of yes can match with first row because 1 is present only one time. So if 1 is present in this table multiple number of times, then multiple combinations are possible. But in this particular example, it is present only once. Suppose if we have one more row like this, 1 followed by 80. So let us assume like that. Okay, one more row is present over here, 1 followed by 80. Then what happens? This particular row in the relation R will match with this one also, 1 comma 80. So which means if it is possible to match with two rows like this, so both of them will be present in the join result. So similarly, second row XYZ 30, so it is matching with second one with 60. So only three possible rows will be present in our result. So 1 is matching with two rows of yes, and row number 2 is matching with only one row. So in this particular join operation, so these are the possible results. So in general, join operation is also called as a theta join. So the join condition is called as theta. So this theta is nothing but a Boolean expression that evaluates to either true or false. And when we say it is a Boolean expression, so it may combine any number of terms or Boolean terms, and these terms can be often combined together with performing the AND operation or operations. So just like this, R dot AI less than S dot BI and R of AK equal to S of BI or R dot AP less than S dot BQ. So multiple terms can be combined together with the AND or OR operations. So then the entire condition together, it is called as a theta, and it is also called as a theta join operation. So next another term we have, that is equijoin. So in equijoin, only equality symbol is used to check the satisfaction of a condition. So the most common use of join involves the join condition with equality comparison. So here, if a particular join condition is not having other connectives like less than, greater than, not equal to, like that, then we call it as an equijoin. So in equijoin, the conditions will have only equality comparison, only some attribute equal to another attribute. So only if equality is used, then it is called as equijoin. So then another term we have, that is natural join. So this is a quite a bit variation from the join operation. So it is denoted by star. So instead of whatever symbol we saw for join operation, here star is used. Here in natural join, both the tables should have the same name for the attribute on which we want to join them. So then automatically without writing any conditions, the join operation will take place. So let us see that with an example. So consider this again, the same example. Previously, what we did was we were joining based on ID, but in the table R, the attribute name is ID, whereas in this particular table, the second one, the attribute name is ATTR1. So in order to perform the natural join, instead of having ATTR1, here also we should have the attribute name as ID. So which means now the attribute on which we want to join these two tables, R and S, so are having we are having R over here and S. So same attribute names are present. So that is R. Now instead of writing the join operation like this, so ID is equal to ID followed by S. So what we can write is R. We can simply write the star operator. So this star operator is a natural join. So this natural join can be used when we want to join two tables on an attribute whose name is same. So the first condition over here is the attribute name should be same in both the tables. So if attribute names are same in both the tables, then instead of specifying the attributes like the one we specified, we can directly use this star operator. So star operator can be used. Now what happens? So automatically, so this anyway, this attribute will not be there. So only 4 attributes will be possible because ID name is same in both the tables and it is on ID only we are joining. So we will be having 1, 2. So name ABC, XYZ, 20, 30. Here the attribute 2 value will be present, 50 and 60. So attribute 1 we don't have now. Now attribute 1 is being renamed as ID. So this is the natural join. So natural join is a join operation where the relations are joined based on the attributes who are having same name. So what if we don't have such attributes? So if same name is not present in both the tables, then natural join operation will fail. So this is the difference between the other join methodologies and this one. So as a whole, join operation is same. Within that we have just different categories like theta join, equijoin, and this one it is natural join. So the example for natural join, to apply the natural join, so department number attributes of department and department locations is sufficient. So we can represent like this. So department star department location. So it indicates that the attribute name which is same in these two will be taken and equality is applied. So the attribute that is having a same name is department number. So implicitly the join condition will be specified like this. So that this one will be automatically applied. So that is department dot department number is equal to department locations dot D number. So this is implicitly applied. So no need to mention it when we are using the natural join. Now the next question that arises is, consider these two relations R and S. So this particular R and S is having the attributes ABCD on one side and CDE on the other side. So here CD, two attributes are having same name. So when we have a two attributes with same name, and when we apply the natural join, what happens is all the two will be combined like this. That is R dot C equal to S dot C, means the attribute C should have same value, and also the attribute D should have a same value. So whatever attributes which are having same name, so all those things will appear as a join condition. So in the previous example which we saw, there was only one attribute, that is ID, which was same in both the tables. So hence there was only one join condition. But here in this particular example, there are two attributes having the same name. So when we have two attributes with the same name, so all those things will be combined like this. So result here in a result, it keeps only one attribute of each pair. So if C is present in both, only one will be present over here, and D is also like this. So totally this is having 4 attributes, this is having 3, but in the result only 5 are present because 2 is considered as a duplicate one. C is present 2 times and D is also present 2 times, but in the result it will be present only once. So this is the result of the operation. So complete a set of relational operations. So we saw the various operator like select operation, where we select the rows, project operation, where we select only attributes. So then union operation, set difference operation, intersection is also there, which we have missed. A row renaming operation represented as a row, where we can rename a attribute, or we can rename a table or relation itself. And sometimes the relation, if you don't specify a row symbol also, the automatic renaming will happen. Cartesian product represented by X. So these are called as the complete set of relational expression, and all other operations which we perform can be specified as a combination of these 5 operations. So a Cartesian product, if it is followed by select, it becomes join. So then union and set difference can be put together in order to derive the intersection operation. So even though we have a separate intersection and join operation, so they can be derived from these basic operations. So basic operation include select, project, union, difference, rename, and Cartesian product. So along with that, we have intersection and join, through which we can perform the various relational operations to obtain the required query results. So one more last relational operator we have, that is the division operator. So division operator, it is specified on 2 tables. So the division operation is applied on 2 relations. So R of Z divided by S of Z. So let us see what is this division operation based on an example. So this is not the division that we have seen in mathematics or algebra. So that division is completely different, and this is a different one. So in order to understand this, so we have to look at an example. So look at this particular example. So one table is present over here having 2 attributes, and another table is having only one attribute. So employee SSN followed by the project number, and here we have a project number. So these are the 2 tables. So now when we perform the division operation of these 2, so that is this table of division with this particular table. So when we specify a division operation between these 2 like this, now what happens? This is the relation on the left side, relation on the right side. Now what happens? For a relation on the right side, it will check where 1 and 2 are present in the phone number. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, and nowhere else. So now only SSN which have matched will be selected. So these two, this one, and this one. Now out of this, wherever this particular one is present, so they will be extracted. Now here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is present over here. It has 1 and 2. Then 4, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 3. So it is present how many times? So it is also present 2 times. Each time it is matching with 2. Now if you check this 3, 3, 4, 5, 5. So this 3, 3, 4, 5, 5. Here it is matching with 2. Here it is matching with 3, 10 and 20. Right? So this 3, 3, 4, 5, 5 will not be selected. So now what happens? So if we list the possible SSNs that are being matched, so it is, so let me write over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it is the one. And also, so another one is 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 3. Another one is 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, followed by 5, 5, 5. So these are the 3 SSN values that are matching. But out of these 3, one it is, we will keep only those SSNs which are matched to this value 1 and 2. Okay, so 1 and 2 it is matching. Here also it is matching. So nowhere else it is present. So we will keep this. Then 4, 4, 5, 3, 4, 4, 5, 3, 4. So nowhere else it is present. So we will keep this. So here 3, 3, 4, 5, 5 is present, but this 3, 3, 4, 5 is present, but with a different pair. It is not 1, 2. It is 3, 10, 20. So we will reject this. So this is now rejected. So only SSNs that are matched over here will be present in our result. So this kind of operation is called as a division operation. So it is quite a bit complex to understand. So as a whole, if I explain this division operation, so it will be, so when we have two relations, one on left side and another one right side. So for the left side relation, it will check the values of this particular relation, and only rows that are matched with these values will be kept in the result, and all other matching will be removed, which means the rows which are not matching with the values on the right side will be eliminated. So another example, so you can observe here R and S. So when we perform the division of R and S, so here A1, A2, A3, so here it is present. So B1 is having all of them, and it is matched with A1, A2, A3, and B4 is also matched with A1, A2 and A3. Whereas B2 and B3 are concerned, so B2 is not matched with A2 and B3 is not matched with A1. So which means it should match with all of them. Here also in our example, this particular 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, it is not matched with 1. So that's the reason why we don't have 3, 3, 4, 5, 5. So which means by looking at these two examples, so we understand in the division operation, so this particular attribute should match with both of them. So if it is missing any one, then it will not be present. So this is about the division operation. So here in the result we'll have B1 and B4 because B1 and B4 are matching with all the values of S. So the division operation can now be algebraically defined like this. So two relation R and S having the attribute Z and X, then X should be a subset of Z. So which means the attributes that are present in S should also be present in R. Then we can apply the division operation and the result of the division will be T of Y. So see, so y, what is y? Y is Z minus X. So the attributes which are present in Z minus those present in X. So that is the Y. So Y are the result. Then T of R of X should be equal to T of S for every tuple T of S in S. So which means all the tuples should match with the attribute X. So if it is not matching with anyone, then it will not be considered. So for a tuple T to appear in a result of division, then the values in T must appear in R with every combination of the tuple in S. So if it is present in every tuple, then it will appear. Otherwise, it won't. So that is an example present over here. So these are the various operations, relational algebraic operations which we have discussed. This is just a summary of it. So you can just go through this. So we can stop over here for today's class. You can enter your attendance in the chat.